Hello, Gold Class Monkeys. So, this video is going to show you how you can salt paint your Easter egg that you cut out. So, you should have your Easter egg. It's on cardstock, which makes it a little bit heavier since we're going to be using some paint with it or some watercolor with it. So I've got my egg ready. So I'm going to show you this. Let me put this down here. Okay. Move it back a little bit. There we go. Okay. So there is my Easter egg. Okay, so once I have it cut out, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to cover over the lines with the glue. So it's kind of like you're drawing with the glue, covering the lines. And if you decide to do just a blank egg and do your own design, then you can do whatever design you want. But you want to cover over all the lines first. And you want a good amount of glue. You want it to be a nice thick line. And for the dots, I'm just going to kind of put glue in the center, like make them big dots instead of trying to draw circles. So if you can see, there is my egg. So now I've got my salt ready. So now I'm going to shake salt onto the egg. I want to cover all of the glue. Make sure all that glue is covered really good with salt. Okay, that looks good. Now, I am going to shake off the extra. I'm not going to do it really hard because I don't want the salt to come off, but hopefully you can see that all the glue is totally covered in salt. Now I'm going to take this salt and throw it in the trash. Get it out of my way. Okay. And then wipe off of this just so it doesn't stick to my egg. Okay, there we go. Now my egg is back in here just to keep the stuff from getting messy. Okay, so now these little cups, what I did is I actually, because I didn't have liquid watercolor, I used food color and I used the neon ones. I put 10 drops of each color in and then put just a little bit of water. And so hopefully, hopefully they'll be nice and bright, but I've got 4 different colors. And then I've got both little paint brushes, but I also brought Q-tips. Got Q-tips in because I wasn't sure which one would work the best. And so I'm going to kind of try both just to see. But basically what you're doing is you're just putting your brush in your watercolor and you're touching it. You're not trying to actually paint on it. You're just touching it to the salt. And then it kind of spreads and fills up the salt. There we go. It's moving a little bit. But you want to make sure you have a good amount of salt on there, and it really is just going to go where the salt is. travels along the salt. So if you kind of get a good, and then kind of just drop it on there, it goes where the salt is. So my pink is actually a lot more red than pink because I didn't use a ton of water, so you could definitely use less. Okay, so there's my red one. So now let's try one of the other colors. Oh, so that one's spreading more. I wonder why. I don't know, but the purple is like, it's cool. What you hopefully will see is that it kind of spreads as you touch it and kind of goes down the salt, like it like travels down the line of salt and glue as you drop it on. It's kind of cool. So it's kind of like a science experiment, a fine motor activity, and an art project all in one. So I'm going to try one of my dots. Oh, that did nicely. Yeah. So I'm just kind of dropping it in the center, and hopefully you can see how it's spreading out from the center to make nice green dots on my egg. And like I said, you don't want it, you're not trying to brush it on there. You're just touching it. And it should kind of spread on its own a little bit. And you don't want to push hard into the glue because that won't work. You're just kind of gently touching. Okay, so I'm going to try, just to see, I'm going to try Q-tips and see how that works with these, with a couple of the stripes, to see if that makes a difference in how it works. Now, I think the Q-tips are harder because it soaks into the Q-tip. So I definitely think I like the brush better. So if you have some little paint brushes, yeah, there we go. Very cool. And it may be, you don't want to let the glue, like you don't need to let it dry before you do this, but it may be that it works a little better if the glue is a little bit drier. So as I'm going through the ones where the glue is set a little bit, it may be working a little bit better because it is supposed to kind of like travel. But like I'm gently touching it because I don't want to push into the glue and the salt. So it just kind of travels along. And colors. Okay, I'm going to go back and do some of the purple. And this will take, I would guess this would take a pretty good amount of time to dry. But you should definitely have it, ready to put up for Easter on Sunday. So you can use this salt painting beyond Easter. It'd be cool to write your name and then, cover over the letters of your name with the glue and then salt, and so you can do your name and salt painting or other kinds of shapes and stuff. So that is, so you can kind of experiment and see how how it, how it works differently if you let it sit a little bit, let the glue dry a little bit. But that, you can see it, is a salt painted egg. So kind of a fun way of decorating that Easter egg. So I hope you have fun with that, and I hope you have a great Easter, and I love you and I miss you. Bye.